Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Mike Cho, a physical therapist. And yes, I am your alternative healthcare career coach. Today, we're going to be interviewing Miss Krista Frahm. She's an occupational therapist. She'll be speaking on our next level virtual entrepreneur summit, and she'll be talking about how to be a copywriter. We'll be back in a few seconds, okay?
HelloNote is a truly therapist-friendly practice management solution with integrated EMR that will enhance workflow, efficiency, and patient care. HelloNote reduces error and allows you to spend more time with your patients. It comes integrated with billing. Claims are generated once a note is completed. You can bill with one click and a patient portal, which streamlines the patient intake process. Beautifully engineered and cloud-based for easy accessibility, the software works on all platforms. You can access patient records from anywhere. We also offer 24/7 support. HelloNote is the practice management solution that you're looking for.
Hello, 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 my Facebook friend, YouTube friends, and all my friends out there. Well, anyway, today we're going to be interviewing Miss Krista Frahm. I hope I'm pronouncing her last name right. She's an occupational therapist and an amazing copywriter. But before I keep on going, I would like to promote obviously HelloNote.com. Use HelloNote for your documentation system. If you want to start your own private practice, it's a one-stop shop. It can fax documents to the physicians that you're sending, or you can also receive faxes through that EMR. It integrates with your billing and all this stuff. Okay. And of course, use the code if you are looking for MedBridge, or you continuing education units. Use the code alternative. You get a discount, 40% discount, right? Somebody says she's a Hello Note user here. Thank you very much, Hello Note user. And of course, it says Facebook user, but for some reason, it's not showing your name, right? And then, of course, good morning wherever you at and whoever you are. All right, before I keep on going, go crazy with our thing here. Our guest for today is Miss Krista Frahm. She's an occupational therapist turned copywriter. I was asking her earlier, hey, is it easy? It's hard for me because English is not my first language, right? So what she does is she provides copywriting and marketing services to healthcare and wellness professionals. So I really need to talk to this lady, right? So she specializes in direct response copywriting, such as sales page, email marketing, ads, and funnels. I don't even know what that is. I know the funnel is the food, right? Krista's mission is to create sales copy that ensures clinicians attracts best fit clients, because sometimes that's so true. Of course, our clinic is called Jerry Have Physical Therapy, right? Why would the Christie would promote to CrossFitters? So it's different, right? So her goal is to attract the best fit clients, build rapport, and make more sales. Oh, we need that, right? She wants to see more clinicians become leader in the online space, which means creating marketing that are brilliant and impactful as the clinicians themselves. So, okay, without further ado, let's go ahead and bring in Krista, the occupational therapist, copywriter slash Krista Farm Agency. Krista, could you please tell us again who you are, what you do, and how can you help us find an alternative career?
Hello, thank you for having me. That was quite the introduction. I appreciate it. Yeah, as you said, I'm Krista Frahm. I run Krista Frahm Agency, which is a copywriting business. Hello, Facebook user. I do wish it said their names. You're right.
Actually,
And
they have to click something as a permission because Facebook or whatever this app is will have
mhm,
to they get permission or something like
yeah,
copywriting.
yeah,
All right,
yeah,
sorry.
that's all good. And as you said, like my passion and my job is to really help clinicians have better marketing or the best marketing so that you get the best fit clients. And even, I mean, in my perspective, because I'm totally biased, that therapists should be kind of running the online space with in all sorts of areas. But I feel like we should be beating out other people who are less qualified and have far less experience. And it really comes down to marketing, being able to show how you are um, better fit and have better solutions for people.
You know what's funny? It's funny you mentioned that because there are a lot of people there doing marketing for different clinics, different practices, and they don't even know the terminology. And then here you
Mhm.
are, an occupational therapist, really changing the game and really have found your true alternative career. But before we go to our actual summit, an entrepreneur summit, uh, what caused you to switch from being an occupational therapist to copywriting? I mean, that's like literally a big change, so what prompted you? Are you like an English major or English speaker or whatever you call that?
I'm not an English major at all. I like when I had my first baby, I was kind of interested in some sort of alternative career and I was looking into blogging, but I just never like took the chance and I never tried it. And so I continued to work for a decade in clinical care and I loved it most of the time. Then we moved to a rural area where jobs just really weren't the best fit. I never got my team again, like the PT and speech that I had had in Spokane, where I used to live, where it was just such a solid team. And then once I
Maybe
moved,
that's the reason why you like copywriting. It's Spokane. Just kidding. It's like, or it's
yeah,
a dad joke.
it's
Sorry.
a dad
Go
joke.
ahead.
Yeah. So I lived in this rural area, didn't have a lot of options. Then naturally COVID hit and that put a whole monkey wrench in things as well. But the whole time that we'd lived here, I'd been writing for our small school. So I wrote their blogs,
Wow.
I wrote grant proposals, emails, like donor
Grant
letters, all
proposal?
the
I
things.
need to talk to
Yeah,
you.
I wrote whatever they handed to me. And they were like, "You're really good at this. Just keep writing stuff for us."
Wow.
And eventually another mom who was a business owner was like, "Oh, you write great copy." And I didn't even know what that meant because I'd never
Hmm.
heard of copywriting. I
Me
actually was
too.
like mildly offended because I was like, well, I didn't copy
Yeah.
anything, like English is
That's
my
what I
first
thought
language and I
too.
still didn't know what she was saying.
Uh-huh. That's what I thought. I
Yeah.
was
So
like,
she's like,
copyrighted? Ain't that
yeah,
music or a movie? It's copyrighted. I didn't copy this. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's almost
Wow.
as misunderstood as occupational therapy. So I went from one career where nobody knows what we do and it's completely mislabeled to another career where still nobody knows what we do and it's completely mislabeled. So, now I am like the double unknown.
The
But
double unknown,
it,
the double
yeah.
whammy
And it doesn't
OT
really
in
have to do
copywriting.
with, yeah, it doesn't have to do with getting a copyright, like a patent. Copywriting is really just the words in your marketing. And I don't know why it's written that way. Other than,
I know,
I
right?
guess the explanation is you find the words of your customer and the voice of your customer and you basically copy that into your marketing. And so that's where the copy comes from. You're really like reflecting their words back to them instead of making up your own version of anything. So,
And can anybody, I mean, of course, not anybody can do this, but can like an educated, obviously, you need to be educated enough in English and
mhm,
the right,
mhm.
grammar and everything. Uh, so is there like an equipment or obviously
it's
technology that
it's
can help
really
you
like
start one
low
or?
entry. Yeah, it's really low
Mhm.
entry to start. I started Googling after that, mom told me about copywriting and I was trying to figure out what it was. Then I started getting targeted with ads for different courses. And I did take a copywriting course because just like any specialty, you can kind of figure it out on your own with free resources on the internet. But if you want to learn faster and get better at it, it just makes sense to find somebody who's done it, learn from them, and accelerate your progress that way. So I took a course, and within 3 months, I had my first client who actually
Wow.
came from within the group that I was in. Somebody was asking for something about sensory processing to be written, and I was like, "Oh, I can talk about
Oh
that." I
yeah.
mean, I'm not a pediatric OT, but I still understand it.
Uh-huh.
And then from there, I just got like a few more clients, and it takes a while to build up a business,
Mhm.
just like anything. I think
It's a
that's
long-term
one.
game, really. So
Yeah, yeah, it is. And a lot of the advertisements will say, you'll be earning so much money in such a short amount of time. But in all reality, it's a lot of work. And
it's
you have
true.
to be willing to take risks and you have to be willing to, fail a little bit and move forward and just keep working.
And of course,
So,
developing relationship and accepting criticism,
Mhm.
whether it's good constructive criticism or really a
Mhm.
bad one that your customers like, oh, your copywriting sucks and stuff like
Yeah.
that. We're firing you. It's like, and it's gonna crush your spirit. I think I'm really bad. No. So yeah, you're
Yeah.
correct. So speaking of
Yeah.
that, I have, now I remember I'm inside a master group.
Mhm.
It's called the 48 Eagles Mastermind Group, where it's head by Dan Miller, very, very famous author. Inside that group is like I don't know if you know Dave Ramsey and the likes
Mhm.
of those people, like Michael Hyatt, really, really high people
Yeah.
in the author and speaking industry. And there were two lawyers,
Mhm.
a female lawyer and obviously a male lawyer. They've quit their lawyering job or whatever you call that, the law
Uh-huh.
practice, and that's what they do. They're copywriting. They're
Oh, yeah?
copywriting for different lawyers, and they're
Yeah.
rocking it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
seriously, you're living your practice, and
Yeah, and
they
that's a
they just
space I could
enjoy it.
never write in, you know? Well, I mean, I could if I worked really hard
Hmm.
and learned about it, but I don't have the background knowledge to, like,
Yeah.
write for lawyers. But when it comes to healthcare, you just translate everything over and you start what I loved the most, I think, was seeing that when I influenced their marketing, it
Hmm.
increased the clinicians' confidence in what they were doing, and it just gave them the words to talk about their services and their offers
Hmm.
that made more sense. And so they started getting, more clients in the door, but they also felt that sense of like, oh yeah, that's what I'm doing. Like it's deeper than what I thought it was.
Uh-huh.
Because one of the things they do is really dig in, you solve the surface level problems and then you go a layer deeper. What are those internal problems and worries that somebody has? And if you're solving those, then you can market that. And then you go a layer deeper and you start looking at, okay, what like societal problems are being addressed by your services? And maybe that's in geriatrics, it might be that people who are elderly are just told, oh, it's just part of aging. Sorry, nothing we can do about it. But in all reality, there's a lot we can do for people to help them live better lives all the way till basically they pass away, right? And so you're addressing that kind of societal problem with your services. But if you don't really pinpoint that, you don't know to market it and share it with people.
You know what? It's probably just like doing therapy. Your patient comes in, or you go to their room if you're in a nursing home or in a hospital, and
Mm-hmm.
then they're complaining about back pain, and then here you are trying to dig in, what's really causing
Yeah.
the back pain? Is it hip, lumbar, the IT band, or whatever? And
Mm-hmm.
same thing probably with copywriting. You're coming in with the problem of that client or that practice, and they want more patient or they want to practice, and then you're like honing it down,
Yeah.
individualizing it. So I wish I
Yeah.
could do it, but
And
English is not
and you
my
might
first
be
language.
working, yeah, and you might be working on an area that they don't even realize is part of the problem. Kind of like with your back pain example. If somebody comes in and they're complaining about back pain, they want their back worked on, right? Like that's what they're expecting. If you immediately jump to their feet, they're going to be a little skeptical and going to be like, this is not what I came for. And it's the same with
Mhm.
copywriting. I might see somebody and look through all their marketing and I'm like, well, I know your problem is actually over here, but they come to me for something else. I need to at least address that to some degree and then show them how it connects over to a different area. So it is, like you
Amazing.
said, it's a lot like therapy. I use the whole like process, I use the rapport building. I mean, I lean into my entire OT training as a copywriter, which I never
And
thought I would do. I
you're
didn't
using
realize.
it. Yeah. You're
Yeah.
using your specific niche, your specific degree. You're not really
Hmm.
abandoned it. You're actually using it, your OT and master's degree there, and applying it
Hmm.
to this alternative career. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's so true. So Krista,
Yeah.
you mentioned about serving clinicians. Do you also teach? I'm running out of English. It's Saturday. I'm
Yeah. It is
supposed to just speak
Saturday
my
morning here.
language. So do you also teach Filipino? No, do you also teach therapists how to become a copywriter? Do you do that, or you just do copywriting for therapists or clinics or whatever? Do you also teach like me? For example, I want to be a copywriter like you. Do you have a class like that too?
I have not created a course on becoming a copywriter. I have resources and really they're all linked on my blog. I have a few different review blogs that I have that do have affiliate links, but I try to just lay it all out there so people can decide which one is the right choice for them if they want to transition from clinical care into copywriting. Because there's just copywriters who have been in it so much longer and they have their courses laid out, and it's what got me to where I am. So I would rather promote that and get people in a proven program than try to make my own right now. But I do
Oh, I
help. I
understand.
do some like consultations with people or strategy calls. If they want to learn how to do their own marketing better, then we can
Hmm.
look at what they have and I can give them feedback, and then they send me something and I give it a review and send it back to them. So there's different
Do
ways
you
to
have
work
some sort of a
together.
team now that helps supports you, like a virtual
I
agency assistants or something like that?
I don't so far. I think a VA is soon on the horizon for a lot of the little
Hmm.
admin tasks. So far, I've automated as much as I can. Instead of
Wow.
hiring a VA, I'll hire software basically to do it for me.
A software, right? That's so true.
Yeah, yeah. If you can automate it and get a robot to do it for you, that's, even better than having to hire a
That's what
VA each
Tony's
month.
been telling me. My business, the Jerry Hab itself or
Hmm.
the Jerry Hab practice, physical therapy, we are so dependent. Not that I don't love my team. I love my team.
Hmm.
I got an amazing
Hmm.
therapy team, both PTs and PTAs and OTs. But we are really dependent on my employees.
Hmm.
If they quit, nobody's gonna see my patient. Or same thing,
Yeah,
my virtual
yeah.
assistants. I got like
Hmm.
4 virtual assistants that works for me, and they're all remote. Some of them are, or
Hmm.
most of them are in the Philippines. And if
Hmm.
they don't come to work, I'm like, if like, oh, we don't have an internet connection today, Dr. Mike. I'm like, what? Nobody's doing our insurance verification. Nobody's answering the phone calls, and I'm just so
Yeah,
dependent on it. So,
yeah,
but
yeah.
you created this system and process where it's a computer or a software is going to help you
Hmm.
out. So is AI really
Yeah.
helping you out too?
I've played with AI a whole bunch, mostly just to see like what it can do and actually what it can produce.
Hmm.
And I also know a lot of therapists are using it to try to create their own marketing because they don't want to hire somebody like you're
Hmm.
saying. They don't want to pay for a person, which would be me. And so just I've been really trying to use it and see what the output is like. So then I can give recommendations and advice on how to adjust the output or like what to watch for with the output. Because it gets very wordy and very repetitive and can kind of create fluffy language. But what you want to do with copywriting is make very clear statements and like make it so obvious what you're saying that people understand it, even if they're at the school pickup line and they just glanced at your post really fast, or it's 10:30 at night and they're scrolling on their phone. They don't have time to read through this like really fluffy statement that ChatGPT wrote. They want like the information and they want it to resonate, and that's how you connect with your clients. So
So true. It still needs to sound like a human, right? So I use
yeah,
Chat
yeah.
GPT too. Sometimes I'm
Mhm.
like, it sounded like a robot that really answered it, or a computer.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah.
And
And I guess,
3.5
yeah, go ahead.
sounds it 3.5 does sound a lot more robotic than if you actually pay for 4 and use ChatGPT 4. Not that I love to
Oh,
add more monthly expenses, but there from what I've seen, there's a significant difference in the
a
output,
big difference, huh?
which is
I don't even know
yeah.
what that means. And mine is just the free stuff. So you get like
Yeah.
20
There's one that's like
20 stuff only.
$20 a month, and it
Oh
it
gosh.
does
Well, it's
create
not
better
bad.
output. But,
Yeah.
then again, you have to weigh like how much will I use it? Will it give me what I need?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of the monthly thing, I got so much monthly recurring subscriptions like QuickBooks, obviously
Mhm.
Netflix, you can't, or whatever. So
Yeah.
what am I gonna tell you earlier? Oh, it's probably just like therapy. You got machines, and then
Mhm.
you're putting the patient in the machine, but it's still different if it's like a human actual
Mhm.
therapist moving that knee joint, if it's a total knee replacement. Or it's
Yeah.
still different.
Yeah.
You can buy right now at here in my back, I have this massaging thing. You see it?
Yeah.
It's turned
Uh-huh.
on and it's massaging my back. It's good,
Mhm.
but it's still different if it's an actual massage therapist or a physical therapist who's
Yeah.
really moving your hand. And same thing probably with copywriting, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Did I
it's
do a
true. You
copyright there?
can,
Did I just do a copyright there?
yeah, yeah. It was a good promotion showing the difference between the two. Yeah,
I know,
but that
right?
is one thing. Our brains love to compare and contrast. And so if you can do that in your marketing, show like, here's what you'll get in another program, and here's what you'll get in our program. And you don't have to call out another program by name and like throw them
Mhm.
under the bus because we don't want to do that. But if you kind of put together in general what other programs are offering and compare it against your own, that our brains love to latch onto that and see those comparison tables. So that is a
So
good
true,
thing to
so
put in your
true.
marketing.
I know. Well, Nico's, I know I'm just looking at the Facebook. Nico said that happens to me too, Mike. So I know Nico is probably from the Philippines too. So, all
Yeah.
right. Well, Krista, where can we find you? Where can we reach you? And anything, a website or anything like that, what we can check you out?
Yes, all my branding pretty much is Krista Frahm Agency. And so, and it is, my last name is spelled odd, Frahm. I believe it's German. So that's why it's like hard to pronounce and harder to spell. But
Mm-hmm.
if you Google like OT copywriter, I'll pull up on there, or Krista Frahm
Oh,
Agency. I'll, thanks for the power and the magic of search engine optimization, I will pull up in most of those searches.
wow. Well, you
And
probably mastered that already, right? So, and then
it's an
on
ever
the
evolving process for sure.
I
Yeah.
know, right? I mean,
Yeah.
my virtual assistant, who does our SEO and everything, she would tell me
Mhm.
all this stuff, numbers and stuff. I was like, I don't even know. Just send me patience. I said,
Yeah. You're
just give
like,
me
do whatever
patience.
you need to do to make that work. And I don't really care.
And
Yeah. And I have clients
speaking
like
of
that too.
that,
They're like, I don't want to learn that, which
I
is kind
know.
of like trying to teach our patients like all the nitty gritty about physiology. They don't want to know, right? Like, they just want their back, their knee, their shoulder. They just want it to work so they don't have to think about it. You know,
So
they don't
true.
want to know what the rotor cuff is.
There you go. The Rotary
Yeah.
Cup. So,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
anyway, yeah. So, and then let's go back to the next level virtual entrepreneur summit. So, what will you be
Mhm.
talking about there?
I will be talking about really kind of the biggest mistake I see clinicians make in their marketing, whether they're doing a non clinical adventure or a clinical venture. And that's just the way that they frame their marketing, either focusing on themselves, their degree, their product, their services, or which is better, is focusing on the transformation and solving the problem and those like three layers of problem solving that they're doing. So
Amazing.
it's
Well,
going to have some takeaways for people to kind of write down information and then revise it so it can bring it to that, next level, should we say.
are you also going to teach us how to kind of learn copywriting there on that class, or you're going to
I
teach us how
I hadn't
to? Are you going to
uh
teach us in the next level summit? Are you going to teach us
mhm.
how to do it ourselves, or uh, you're going to show us how you do it?
I'm going to focus it mostly on like having people be able to improve their own marketing a little bit based on what they learn. Because I know not everybody's in a spot to outsource all their copywriting. And so I want to bring information and some exercises that people can do. And then it will bring their marketing up a little bit to that higher level. And so that it resonates with people more and they can get more sales.
So, okay, okay. Well,
Yeah, that's my
um,
goal.
so you're gonna give us some exercise. How about me? That don't know how to speak English well. I mean,
Yeah.
will that help me out too? Or do you have any
Yeah.
script that we can buy or we hire you for our clinic?
Uh, I don't have scripts that people can buy or like templates. I think
Mhm,
that's
yeah,
kind of
template.
going a little bit more by the wayside with the onset of ChatGPT because you can put in a bunch of information and ask it for an outline or a script and it can get you started. And
Mm,
so, and it's really hard to write a basic template, not for a bunch of different businesses because your unique angle and the really impactful thing that you bring is going to be totally different than another clinic. And so
yeah,
we want to highlight you and your unique like the unique way you solve the problem and why people should choose you over another clinic, which is hard to do in a
So
template. Yeah.
yep,
Which
yep.
is why the angle is going to be more like the general information, and then, okay, look at your own marketing. Do you see these common mistakes? And like, here's how to fix it and make it better.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
well, again, thank you very much, Krista. I appreciate you. I know you're a very busy woman there. You're still copywriting there. We already mentioned your website and
Mhm.
your where they can reach you and everything. But any last parting wisdom for our friends and the YouTube people who are watching in our little group?
Well, I guess since we're talking about the Next Level Entrepreneur Summit, one of the things that I've noticed when I looked through the speakers and the the promotional materials and whatnot is it's it's got a really good mix of speakers and topics that will be good for people whether they want to start a clinical venture or a non-clinical venture. And I thought that was really unique about this event because oftentimes it's either like you have to go non-clinical and this event is all non-clinical, or it's just for people starting private practices. And if for the whole group of therapists who aren't quite sure what direction they're going to go yet, this is like a great place to get lots of information about both directions.
Well, again, thank you very much again, Krista, for your time, and then of course, thank you for those people who are watching. Nico, you got to join uh, the class because Nico has a clinic. I don't know what state. I think it's somewhere in Texas. He's got
Mhm.
he's another businessman too that has some clinics in the area. So you got to join this class, Nico. So again, thank you very much again, Krista. Appreciate you. But before I let you go, my Facebook friend. Well, before I let you go, let me just highlight what Nico said. Yeah, Philam Chamber of Greater Houston. Yeah, Nico is very active in his community and business endeavors. So I need to
Mhm.
ask money from Nico, borrow money from that guy. So if you need finances, go reach out to that guy. Just kidding. All right, but before I let you go, ladies and gentlemen, always remember the word fast. FAST. Letter F. Find people that will bring out the best in you because you are the average of the 5 people you hang out with today. I hang out with Krista, I hang out with Nico, I hang out with you specifically. I feel like I want to be a copywriter, right? I'm gonna go to my chat GPT. Is there a chat GPT in the computer, Krista? I feel like it's
Yeah.
always in my phone.
Oh, yeah. You can use it online on the computer too.
On the computer too. I
Hmm.
rarely go to
Yeah.
my computer except I do this or my paperwork, right? So
Yeah.
all right. And the next letter is letter A. Take action. All this stuff that we're doing it won't do me good. It won't even do Krista good if you don't take action. Take action by joining that next level virtual entrepreneur summit by by Kara, and just join. You'll learn a lot from the people, the speakers. I think for like $200 or 150 something, and then all the speakers. You got Krista, you got Kara, you got Sue, you got Anthony, all the big wigs of rehab industry, and learning from them for 100. How much is it, Krista? 120, 130, one
I
fifty
I think
bucks?
there's
Oh,
yeah, I think it's but either like around 120 or 170
yeah.
depending on which ticket you buy. I
You
think
know,
it's
I
under
mean,
200.
I know it's
Hmm.
under $200. That's just, you know, me and my kids, we go out and eat. I got like three little girls and they eat like boys and
Yeah.
grown men. And I pay like $150. They
Yeah.
supersize everything. They order desserts. All right. It's like, gosh, kids, stop buying soda. Just drink water and lemon, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So take action, guys. Take action. All right. Take action. Next letter is letter S. Is shoot for the moon. Why? If you keep shooting for the moon, you're gonna miss it. You're gonna be landing with the stars. Well, guess what? Today I kept shooting for the moon and landing with the star with Krista. And guess what? You're gonna fail. If you keep shooting for the moon, you're gonna fail, but you will eventually land with the stars. Okay, land with amazing people. And last but not the least is letter T is teach it. Why? Because when you hear it, you forget. When you see it, you remember. But when you're actually teaching it, you're actually understanding it more. And that's what Krista is doing. She's teaching us how to be an amazing copywriter. All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Hope to see you in the next level virtual entrepreneur summit. Krista will be there. She'll be speaking there, I think, on the third day or second day, if I'm not mistaken. So,
Mhm.
be awesome, be great, be excellent, and we'll see you around our Facebook, YouTube, or podcast friends. Bye bye.
HelloNote is a truly therapist-friendly practice management solution with integrated EMR that will enhance workflow, efficiency, and patient care. HelloNote reduces error and allows you to spend more time with your patients. It comes integrated with billing. Claims are generated once a note is completed. You can bill with one click and a patient portal, which streamlines the patient intake process. Beautifully engineered and cloud-based for easy accessibility, the software works on all platforms. You can access patient records from anywhere. We also offer 24/7 support. HelloNote is the practice management solution that